Treating his pee like it's golden. Treating his pee. What'd you say?
Where's the red towel at?
I don't know.
In
There's
the
a,
closet?
I guess. Treating his pee like it's golden. I'm on some, we don't type shit right now. If you know what, what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't. Just saying what I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like writing sometimes, and then it's like, dude, that's just like a lot of writing to be doing. That's an inefficient expenditure of energy. I can just say that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can just say how I feel. But yeah, man. This is I'm more like recording shit than I like motherfucking like typing shit, posting shit. But it's like Facebook will only let you fucking well, in my experience, I don't know, that's everybody's experience. Well, as you post so many videos before they start tagging you, and it's like, why? I don't get that. I mean, okay, I can write uncensored, but I can't motherfucking post videos uncensored. Now I can see if I was doing some lewd shit in it, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, that'd be
Being nude or
being
something.
nude or some shit, or
Shooting niggas.
just shooting niggas or doing some violent shit, like cutting people's heads off or some shit, beheading niggas or some shit like that. Like,
Or doing like straight blatant hate speech.
or straight blatant hate speech, telling you to go out and hate somebody, you know what I'm saying, based upon whatever differences, race, religion, or gender or something. I'm not telling you to hate nobody. I'm telling you to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, self-preservation is not violence. It's intelligence. What we talking about is self-preservation. In the face of actual potential extermination. You know what I'm saying? Any species on the planet Earth, subspecies or otherwise, when threatened was threatened with extinction by external forces, you know what I'm saying, acts accordingly. That's, you know what I'm saying, a pre-programmed, you know what I'm saying, instinct within living species or living systems, including motherfucking black folks. I'm not talking about no shit about fucking, you know what I'm saying, go out and kill white people or kill whitey or hate whitey or no shit like that. I'm not telling you to do that shit. I'm telling you to love your goddamn self and to think and to work towards preserving self and doing what's most logical in the preservation of self. And that seems to me, based upon all the information, is this thing we call separation. Now, dude, when I talk about other people's, right now, we ain't separate. Right now, black folks depend upon the same economy that white folks depend upon, that poor white folks depend upon. And we don't seem to understand that. So therefore, we have to advocate for fair and living wages for everybody in relationship to those who work within the corporate structure. Now, ultimately, my motherfucking goal is to see black people work outside of that corporate structure and establish their own corporate structure in which we give ourselves a living wage when we're employing one another. But that we need to employ one another. That's my ultimate goal. But and you got to look at things as they are. And right now, a living wage is what some black people need in order to be able to live, in order to engage in group economics. So, you know what I'm saying? Since we getting our money from a third party, we need to get our fair share of that money from a third party so that we can engage in group economics. This is not going to happen overnight. I'm not expecting it to happen overnight. And there's still a structure in which we depend upon that's pre-existing. You know what I'm saying? Which is the corporate structure. And is we got to work through what we can work through. And right now we can work through the corporate structure or the existing corporate structure and the existing governmental structure in order to get a fair and living wage for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not just for black people, but for all people. And black people will benefit from a fair and living wage. Just like equal wages for, you know what I'm saying, women in relationship to men. Black women deserve an equal wage in relationship to black men and white men. You know what I'm saying? And white women. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in order to fight for an equal wage for black women in this social structure, we need to fight for all women to have an equal wage. You know what I'm saying? For black, queer and transgender and so on to be treated equally, we need to fight for the equal rights of all. You know what I'm saying? That fall within that classification. You know, for our religious rights to be respected, we need to fight for the rights for all religious rights to be respected. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just, if we're going to fight for black Muslims, we need to fight for all Muslims. I mean, that just makes sense. That's just logical. We're gonna fight for black workers. We need to fight for all workers. It makes sense. I mean, that just makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you or not, but it makes sense. If we're gonna fight for women, we need to fight for. If we're gonna fight for black women, we need to fight for all women. And because those things affect us compounded, the effect upon us is compounded. So we need to look at the fact that the effect upon us is compounded, but we also need to look at the fact that these things affect us entirely different based upon that racial dynamic, and that if you exist in a pseudo white or a white, uh, um, 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 physiology, or psychology, that gives you some privilege, and that's the same thing that Negropeans think, that somehow they're benefiting themselves by aligning themselves with the majority. And that's not necessarily self-preservation. It's really kind of like that contradiction of imbalance. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like posting shit, how I feel. And I don't talk about no hate speech. I talk about love speech. So this is love speech, not no hate speech.